Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So on this video, I'm going to be doing something that I don't think I've actually done on this channel before. I'm going to be doing a part 2 to my last video. So my last video was titled Just Start. So this video is going to be the part 2 to that video. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I want to encourage you to stop this video right now and go and watch that one first, because it's going to actually give you the foundation for everything I'm going to be talking about today. The last video actually helped a lot of people. I've read most of the comments and they were positive. Like, people were challenged to do something with what God has given them and to begin to just take those little steps. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out first. And when you're done, you can come back and check out this video as well. So what I'm going to be talking about on this video is still going to be around the same scripture that we used on my last video, which is Zechariah chapter 4 verse 10. And it says, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." And one of the reasons why I believe I need to do a part 2 was because I feel like for most of us, the issue is not that we don't want to start something. The issue is not that we don't want to do something with what we've been given, even though it may look little. For some of us, it could just be that we've tried to do something in the past. We've tried to actually do something little. We've tried to take those steps, but we didn't get the support. We didn't have the encouragement. We didn't have the support that we needed to actually follow through. So for some of us, we allowed ourselves to not pursue that thing that we believe we should be doing because it didn't work out. Because maybe somebody laughed at you. Maybe people mocked you. People mocked your idea. They were like, "What, are you crazy? What kind of stupid idea that was?" Maybe because of something that somebody has said when you were trying to take your baby steps has discouraged you and has made you to just, kind of give up on it. And I'm going to share my own story with you to kind of just encourage you on your journey as well. So a few years ago, actually many years ago, when I started my journey on the piano and I was learning, I was taking baby steps. I remember doing a church service. I was invited to come and play the keyboard. I was invited to come and do like a little rendition, a little special number of one of my favorite hymns. So I got on the keyboard and I started playing. And I was really enjoying myself. I thought, I did pretty well. But in the middle of my performance, while I was still playing, there was a guy that was actually laughing at me. And the guy was not actually, being quiet about it. It was so loud I could hear it, to the point that it distracted me from actually playing. The guy was proper laughing. It was really having fun, just making fun of me, because I wasn't good enough. Because at that time, like I said, I was just starting out my journey. I was taking baby steps. But this guy's laughter in my ears was a big discouragement. I left that place after I managed to finish what I was playing. I left that place feeling so discouraged, feeling so disappointed, to the point that I said to myself, maybe this is not actually for me. Maybe I'm not even meant to do anything with this thing because I'm not good at it. A guy just laughed at me in front of a lot of people. It wasn't in a secret place. It was actually in front of about 100 people. A guy just laughed at me. I could hear his laughter. I was discouraged. I didn't get the support that I needed. And when I left that place, I wanted to give up on playing the piano. I said, I'm done with this. I'm not going to allow people to ridicule me. I'm not going to allow people to mock me. I'm not going to allow people to just, laugh at me. I'm going to go find something else that I want to do with my life. But I thank God that, I got over it. I thank God that I didn't allow that one incident to stop me from trying again, to stop me from taking those baby steps. So maybe that is you. You were attempting those baby steps. You were trying to do those little things, and somebody has laughed at you. It could even be your close friends. It could be your family member. They told you you've gone crazy. They told you that idea will never work. They even called your idea stupid. They even tell you this is ridiculous. Go find something else to do with your life. They say you are not good enough. Whatever they may have called you. And maybe you've allowed that to actually stop you from trying again, from taking those steps, from actually doing something with the little that you've been given. Here is the example that came to my mind. So if you're a parent and you've had children, I want you to kind of remind yourself of what it looks like when you are expecting that little one. when maybe your wife was pregnant and you were waiting on, you were expectant, you were counting down the days. You were like, oh, we've got 3 weeks to go, we've got 2 weeks to go, and then we've got 2 days to go. And you were counting down the days. You were in anticipation for the arrival of that little one, And then when the baby finally showed up, you guys were ecstatic. You were very excited. You were over the moon. You were excited. We had a baby boy, we had a baby girl. You were happy about that little one. And that little one began to grow little by little. But one thing I've noticed is most parents that I've met always anticipate one thing in the journey of that little one. You know what that is? When that little one takes their first step, they've got cameras everywhere. They want to make sure they capture that perfect moment. They were not concerned about him walking perfectly. They just want to see him take the first step. And now the big day has come. The day when that little one is going to take his or her first step and just begin to attempt to walk. And the parents are ready with their camera, ready to make sure they capture it on video and make sure that, they make it a memory that they will forever cherish for the rest of their life. And this little one now takes his or her first step. And then after the first step, the little one now stumbles and then fall. Guess what? The parent doesn't care about the fact that the little one fell. They were just excited that the little one is actually trying to walk. They were excited. They were celebrating that the little one is attempting to start something. They were celebrating the beginning. They didn't care if the little one falls or if the little one even started crying. They were just over the moon. They were like, yeah, you did it. You took your first step. And I believe that that's how God feels about us. When we're beginning to do that new thing, when you are taking that first step, when you are walking by faith, when you believe God has said something to you, and even though outwardly it doesn't look like anything is lining up, but you have the faith that God has spoken, and you are taking that little step, and I believe that God is excited. That's why the Bible said God rejoices to see the work begin. That little one, after they've taken their first step, you know what happens? They would fall many times over and over again after they've taken that first few steps. The little one will try again. They will keep falling. They will keep falling. But you know what? In those moments, the parents never judges them. The parent is celebrating them. They're cheering them on. They say, you know what? You got this. Yeah, you fell. We're going to pick you up. Even if the guy fell and has some bruises, they will pick it up. They might even give it a little kiss here and there and say, hey, little guy, you're doing well. They're celebrating the guy's progress. They don't care that he fell. They don't care how many times the guy would fall in the process of learning to walk. And for that little baby, what is happening is, during that time when he is learning to walk, when, he is falling and is getting back up, his muscles are developing, his bones are getting stronger. And then all of a sudden, this little one can walk by themselves. And they were only able to get there because they kept walking. They never stopped. They never gave up because they fell a few times. They kept going. They may fall, they may bruise, but they get up and they keep walking. And I believe that's what God sees. When we're taking those little steps, God is saying, I got you. God is saying, I see that you're trying. God picks us up, encourages us, loves on us. He might even send some people around us to encourage us in those times when we're feeling down, when we feel like, we can't go on. And maybe that's even why you're watching this video right now. God is saying, you know what? I know you fell. I know you tried. I know it didn't work out, but you know what? I'm allowing you to see this video because I want you to know that I got you. I'm going to pick you up. God is saying, I'm not judging you. I'm celebrating your progress. I'm celebrating that you are doing well. I'm celebrating that you are taking steps. I'm celebrating the fact that you are walking towards perfection. You are doing something with what I've given you. Falling down is part of learning to walk. Failure is part of the journey to success. It's only an event, but don't let that stop you. Imagine if I had allowed the laughter of that guy to stop me from ever playing the piano. People would not know who I am today. People will not be listening to my piano instrumentals all over the world today. I'm coming your way today to encourage you. Don't allow what others have said to stop you. Don't allow the fact that you've fallen so many times to stop you. Get back up again. Keep walking. Keep moving. Know that God is rejoicing in heaven over you. He's rejoicing to see that you are started. And once you've started your journey, doing that process, like that little boy that was trying to walk, You will be learning a lot of things. His muscles were getting stronger, his bones were developing, it's getting stronger. Also for you, when you start that job, when you start that project, when you start that business, you will begin to learn some things. You begin to learn about patience, about how to handle discouragement, about faithfulness, how to be faithful with the little that you've been given. Because God is actually saying that, you know what, I'm proud of you that you've started, and I want to see how faithful you will be along the journey. I want to see, will you keep being faithful even after you've fallen? Would you keep being faithful even if nobody notices you? Would you keep being faithful even when that success doesn't show up? Would you keep doing it? Would you be diligent? Would you be resilient? Would you be learning the things that I'm trying to teach you in this process? Because the end goal is not really the thing itself. It's who you are becoming through the process. God is doing a work in you. He's teaching you patience. He's teaching you long suffering. He's teaching you how to be calm in the face of the storm. It's teaching you a lot of things. It's developing your internal muscles. It's developing your spiritual gift, your spiritual abilities. It's developing your physical abilities. It's developing a lot of things in you. So sometimes we keep our eyes on the thing itself that we forget that we are actually growing. A lot of work is going on the inside of you. You are developing. And God is saying, I want to see how faithful you are to the process and not just to the thing itself. God is saying that I want to see you go through this. I want you to walk with me and let us get this done. Remember that parent that was watching their little one walk. They were keeping their eyes on the child. They were watching him every time. So when he falls, they rush to go pick him up. God is saying, you're not supposed to do this alone. Let us do it together. One thing I've learned on my journey is I cannot do this alone. I couldn't have gotten to where I am today alone. I've gotten here by the grace of God, with the help of God, with the Holy Spirit guiding me, leading me, strengthening me, even when I was at my lowest point that I wanted to give up. Even when these things was not working out, when my music wasn't going anywhere, I was leaning on God for strength. So God is saying, you don't have to do this all by yourself. Let me walk with you. Let us walk together. God has said, I will be with you. When you fall, I'll pick you up. I will strengthen you. I will be by your side. He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So if you're watching this video, you feel like you're alone, I want you to know you're not alone. God is cheering you on. God is with you. And God is saying, you know what, when you feel like you can't go on, come to me for strength, and I will give you strength. Because they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and they will not faint. God is saying, trust in me with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge me. God is saying that. And I will direct your path. God is saying, you don't have to figure it out on your own. Let's do this together. And the last thing that I want to share with you is, use an example of a farmer. A farmer will never plant any seed if the farmer judges the seed by the size. If a farmer, all he sees is, this little seed, what is it going to become? The farmer will never plant that seed. Even though the seed may be this small, the farmer knows that this seed can become a tree that will not bring forth much fruits. A farmer has learned not to despise the days of small beginnings. So a farmer will naturally go out, they will dig the ground, they will put a seed in the ground, they will cover it up, and guess what? Day after day, after that process, they will begin to water it. They'll begin to add manure. They'll begin to add fertilizers. They'll begin to make sure it gets enough sunlight. It gets enough water. They'll begin to give it everything. So a couple of weeks after that process, the thing might still not be showing anything. It may look like nothing is happening. But the farmer knows that if I keep doing this, if I keep watering this seed, if I keep adding everything that it needs, if I keep supplying the right nutrients to this seed, eventually it will begin to bud. Eventually it will begin to grow. And then all of a sudden, after a month, maybe the farmer begins to see little things here and there. Little indications that the seed is actually becoming alive. And then before you know it, the little seed of yesterday now begin to grow into a tree. And maybe a year later, it's now a big tree, now with a lot of fruits on it. But it will never become a tree unless the farmer first planted the seed. Unless the farmer first put the seed in the ground and was faithful with the process of watering the seed. That is the power of the seed. That's the power of the little. That's the power of that small thing that God has given you. There is a potential within it that it can grow to big things. There is a potential in it. You have to water it. You have to make sure it gets the right nutrient. You have to supply it with everything that it needs. But eventually, if you are faithful with the process, you'll begin to see the fruit of it. And not only you, everybody around you will benefit from that seed that you have planted. So I want to encourage you. Don't despise the little that God has given you. Know that God rejoices that you are starting. So keep going. Don't give up. Keep watering your seed. Keep defying all the odds. Even when you fall, pick yourself back up again. Even when you fail, pick yourself back up again and keep going, because you never know whose life is at stake if you don't do what God has called you to do. I'm grateful to God for what God is doing in my life and through my gifts, but it started because I started planting my seed. I started doing something with it. You will not be watching this video today if I didn't do something with my gift. If I buried my gift, if I say, oh, you know what, I can't speak, nobody will like what I say, you wouldn't be watching this video. So don't despise the little that you have. Know that God rejoices to see that you begin. And as you begin to take little steps here and there, you're getting closer to what God has promised you. You're getting closer to that place that God is taking you. And I know that if you don't give up along the way, you will surely get there. God desires to see you prosper. God desires to see that thing come to life. The question is, do you want it? Do you believe it? Do you believe that on the inside of you there is greatness? Do you believe that that ability, that idea, that talent has the ability, has the greatness locked up on the inside of it? Do you believe it? Because it's not just about me believing in you. It's not just about God believing in you. The question is, do you believe in yourself? And do you believe in what God has given you? Do you believe it has great potentials? Remember, the farmer will never plant a seed if they judge it by its size. You've got to believe that inside of you is greatness. And somebody somewhere is waiting on you to do what God has called you to do. Somebody somewhere is waiting on you to do something with the little that you have. So why don't you start today and be encouraged on your way, knowing that I'm rooting for you, I'm cheering you on, but above all, God rejoices to see that you start that thing. I really do hope this has encouraged you. I really do hope you were blessed. If you were blessed in any way, please remember to share with other people, and also remember to subscribe to this channel. And I will see you on my next video. Take care.